Well, finally, last episode of Season 2 of your Homebrews. If I tried to go through all the Homebrews on the list, the season would probably have twice as many episodes, if not more. Again, I apologize. The fact that there were few to no rules in Season 1 and 2 meant I got kinda overwhelmed by amount of homebrews sent my way. We'll rectify it with rules for Season 3. Anyway, let's get to the final 2 positions in the series, shall we? First and rather short creation comes from Engineer TV 9305. Haven's Devils, a motorized regiment of Imperial Guard from Hiveworld Inferum Prime. They are recruited from gangsters, criminals and lowlifes of the Hives. They are offered redemption for their sins through the service to the Golden Throne. They are known for usage of motorbikes as cavalry units, charging the enemy en masse. Their bikes take inspiration from bigger and far more powerful Astartes bikes, being armed with firearms that help in charges. Their war cry and creed is, "For redemption, we ride to war." They are a rising star in the subsector, though they have been noted to have very little respect to outside authority, like commissars or trained officers dispatched to command them. They are very meritocratic, which means mid-level officers who rise from the ranks of a regiment are shown far more respect than anyone else. With the exception of priests, who accompany them on campaigns. They've proven themselves as an efficient flanking and skirmish force, capable of independent action behind enemy lines and skillful scavenging of resources. Coming from a hive world, however, proven to be far less efficient in operating outside urban environment. After a series of successful operations against forces of chaos and orcs, 3rd, 4th and 6th Regiment of Haven's Devils was deployed to Tunera 3 to fight against the Tau Empire. Unlike their past deployments, which were on other hive worlds, a forge world and an urban world, this combat took place on a forest-covered world, which was used as a staging base for the Tau to strike nearby planets. The 3 Imperial regiments faced off against hunter cadres from Dalith, and were wiped out to the last man. Since then, the Imperial Command decided to retrain several of those regiments so they could be more capable in non-urban warfare. They also sent them support of regiments more experienced in operating in such environments. A neat small homebrew of another Imperial Guard regiment. Those are always fun. Especially with the contrast of their expertise in fighting in urban combat, despite the fact they are a mechanized regiment and struggling on other terrains. Now, the final homebrew of the season comes from Penrud. Sorry if I said your name wrong. Hugin. They are sapient, psychically gifted species that can be found in nearly every corner of the Milky Way. The Hugin themselves even spread a lie that they originate from Holy Terra itself and spread through the stars with humanity, so to be able to hide in plain sight. Interestingly enough, Hugin themselves don't know their origins. They spread through the stars so far, and were doing it for so long, that there are over 100 planets that are suspected to be their actual homeworld. Hugin themselves are nomads that don't stay in one system for longer than 80 years, which makes tracing their origins an impossible task. Hugin possess efficient warp travel, with some theorizing that they have access to Webway, be it through some deal with Eldar or their own strange abilities. No one is certain. Despite how widespread they are, they seem to possess somewhat cohesive society and expansive communication network, though they do not reveal truth of how they achieve either to anyone. They survived through hiding their nature and their culture. What little can be understood is that their society operates upon a labyrinthine network of oaths and contracts rather than anything else. They don't even really use currency within their society. Paradoxically, while deceptive, they stick to their oaths and promises to the best of their ability. Hugin operate in flocks up to 200 members, led by advocates. Each flock usually consists of Hugin with specific scheme or business idea. There are usually family ties mixed with this. A single flock shares a spacecraft. Almost all Hugin possess slight psychic abilities, mostly connected to foresight and prophetic dreams. Yet despite that connection, you won't find Hugin combat psychers, as they rarely develop their psychic potential beyond bare minimum, allowing them to glimpse into the warp while remaining mostly unnoticed by the creatures dwelling within that dark realm. Their most interesting characteristic is their memory, which is beyond extraordinary. They remember almost everything they witnessed. Their minds are a library of experience and knowledge. Another of their abilities is mimicry of speech, meaning they learn languages at extremely fast rate, allowing them to communicate with other species. Though they are known to mimic laughter, cries of distress, and lullabies, specifically to scare people, which they apparently do for fun. Notably, as nomads, they sell their services to different people, usually as spies and information brokers. They feed true or false data to different sides of conflict, scavenge battlefields, and profit from the conflict. Some look down at them because of that, but who can blame them for living off the most abundant resource in the galaxy? War. Of course, not all Hugin act like carrion birds. Many are merchants or translators, acting as messengers between different parties. What is also interesting is that Hugin are demonologists, teaching members of their kind of dangers of dealing with demons to ensure that they won't make dumb mistake by trying to make a pact with one. An opposite approach to humanity, where they suppress all knowledge of demons and the threat they pose. They spread those tales through fables known as Folkvet, where all who try to make a deal with a demon suffer greatly. Unfortunately, Hugin also believe that mocking of demons robs them of their power, so those fables often fail to sell the gravity of horror of dealing with Neverborn or demonic incursion. This mockery extends to all grim aspects in life. As such, Hugin have a pitch black sense of humor, which gives them ill reputation of sadism. By nature and culture, Hugin will mock the very maw of oblivion, even as it swallows the sad Hugin whole. Hugin possess two names. True name, which is incredibly long, complicated, and kept secret to all but most trusted friends and family. They hold belief that their soul is kept in their name, and if someone who knows their true name dies, a piece of soul dies with them. A parent is responsible for keeping a child's name safe, and the child is expected to be eternally grateful for this. Their other name is basically a nickname. It is used to day. It can be a job title, favorite plant, or a quality they think they possess. One unusual practice is name stealing. Some Hugin take the names of foes they have defeated, though not in combat, but in business or some sort of game. If a Hugin wins a name of a rival, not only they take it, but get to decide the loser's new nickname. So if you meet Hugin known as Ugly as Sin or Smelly, they most likely lost a bet. A unique entry, it has to be said. Hugin are without a doubt one of the more unique species that have been presented to me, especially since, quite intentionally, they weren't meant to be allies of the Tau Empire, but rather a wandering nomad species they would encounter, which I'm fully support of. There should be more Xenos presence in 40k Galaxy anyway. What a fitting last homebrew for this season. Yes, this is it. End of Season 2. If one of your homebrews didn't show up, sorry, but you will get another chance in Season 3. Season 3 of your homebrews will be connected to Star Wars X Warhammer 40k series, so homebrews from either universe will be accepted. Those who follow the series know that a conflict between the Tau Empire and the Hutt cartels is coming, sooner or later. As such, I will have a need of factions, locations, and characters to use. Expect more official announcement and rules for Season 3 around Episode 10 of Star Wars X Warhammer 40k series. Stay tuned and stay safe out there.